Good morning, welcome to Jestic Test Kitchen. We're here this morning with Stuart from MKN in Combi Corner. He's been doing some work with Welsh schools with the free school meals, and I'm going to hand over to Stuart now and he's going to talk to us about school meals and MKN Combi.
Thanks, Michael. It's great to be here. It's fairly common news that the Wales have gone free school meals across all junior schools. But what does that mean? So essentially in September 22, all infants are entitled to a free school meal, and then as of this year it will be the junior section of the school as well. So why? The aims is really it's a raised profile healthy eating. It is top priority, and improving social skills at mealtime. And it also, for Wales, it's encouraging Welsh food onto the plate at lunchtime. So, but why MKN? A couple of reasons really, but firstly, what we want to highlight today is the FlexiCombi, the special sort of unique points with the FlexiCombi. One of which is the Magic Pilot, ease of operation. But what we want to show you and get across to you today is we're going to do something simple as chips, and we're going to use the FlexiRack. So before we start going, we want to preheat the Combi. And skills these days in kitchens, we're all struggling with skills. Schools aren't any different than that. So we're going to make it as easy as we can. So we've got our barcode scanner. So essentially we go to our AutoChef, we activate the scanner, and everything's got a barcode. So this is our particular brand of chips. So these are MKN chips. So we scan the barcode. We've preset the process, the cooking process, and we press start. So the oven is now going to go into preheat mode, and then it will give us an alarm when we're ready to load.
So you can add a barcode off any product into any
product
program that you want.
What we particularly got on here, because again it all depends on what brands. So sure. In this particular model, we've got an own brand chip, yep, and we've got a MKN chip, because again in recent times supply and demand has been very difficult. Exactly. FlexiCombi. So essentially it's a crosswise combi. Yeah. So it's a standard 1.1 GN. So this is our 6-grid model, 6.1, and we're going to load it crosswise. So why do we do that? Well, we believe it's safer. So it's essentially, it's two hands underneath it, rather than balancing a heavy 1.1 Gastronorm at that level. But of course, because we're MKN, we have the FlexiRack system. So as you can see, it's all about capacity. So what we'll do is we'll explain what that means for all caterers really, on this 1.1, which is the standard tray for all food service. We have 1.5 kilos of chips. Okay, and again, this is a standard 6.1 configuration FlexiCombi. On here, we have 3 kilos. So we've got twice as much product going into the combi. We preheated the alarm signal for us, so it's as simple as now, is we open the door. Okay, we load the combi, so we're going to go in with our FlexiRack. We're going to go in with our 1.1, but we also know that particularly in schools, we still use our BS tins. So again, the unique thing about the MKN FlexiCombi is not only can we fit one BS tin per layer, we can get 2. And then we shut the door and it starts automatically.
Okay, so while we're waiting for the chips to cook, I just want to go through the prep mate here from Metro. Really handy little workstation. We've got the board rack on the end here. Gastronorm compatible on the top. We can have thirds, halves, 1.1s, 6ths, you name it. Any size gastro will fit underneath the board. So we've got space under the board. There's a chopping board sits on the top. You've got these little rubber feet here holding it in. We've got the knife block on the end here, and we've got an adjustable work height. We've got 5 different work heights that we can have on here. We got this on the lower setting, so we can open the door of the combi over the top of it, but you can also drop it down so it will slide under a standard 800 height worktop. So you can tuck it away. We've got the Gastronorm runner underneath here, so we can have our steamer pans, our standard 1.1 Gastronorms preloaded, ready to go. It's a really, really useful little trolley.
The FlexiCombi is now telling us we're finished, the process is finished. So this was our chip program. So out with the FlexiRack, nice and safe, crosswise, so we can get 2 hands to the product. As you can see, we've used the FlexiRack chip baskets. We've got complete even cooking of the chips, even browning. Of course, we've still got our 1-1. But as you know, with crosswise, the 1-1 fits crosswise. So it's 2 hands, nice and safe. We'll pop that on the second tray. And as I mentioned before, because a lot of schools still we use our box tins, we've got those as well. So I'll pop them on there. Nice and easy to get to. We're not the doors wide open, so our arms not getting touching the hot door and not getting any burns or scalds. And away we go. So there's our even cooked chips. So our screen's changed, and it's actually come up with our green inside. So MKN's green inside it's monitoring the energy that we've used. So for that complete batch of chips then, we've used 0.47 of a kilowatt. So we can actually put a cost to the running cost of every batch of product that we cook. So in the current climate where energy, resources are shooting up in price, we're really protecting hopefully protecting the environment as well.
And if you load 1 tray or 2 trays or 3 trays, is there anything in there that adjusts the time or the temperature with the oven?
Exactly.
To help you get even cooked depending on the amount of product you've got in there?
Oh, funny you should say that. Yes, we've got something called quality control. So when we're in the development phase, when we're developing our processes to save into the FlexiCombi, we design our process around 1 tray. Then when we save it, we activate quality control. And then when we add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trays, the oven will recognise that we've added more product than 1 tray. It will change potentially the temperature and, more importantly, the cooking time to give you the same exact even results every time.
Okay, so we're now going to set up to cook some fish fingers, a staple of all schools. So we'll go into AutoChef, barcode scanner, and then I can scan the barcode on the front of the box, and as you can see, it's loaded the program. All we have to do then is hit start. The oven goes into its preheat. It preheats to 15% above the set point, so we're preheating to 219. That gives us plenty of temperature over the cooked temperature to load the oven so as not to drop too far away from the set point once we shut the door and start the cooking process. Of course, we don't have to use the barcode scanner, we can just do it manually. So we go to AutoChef there and it brings up our favourites page. That's how we've set this oven up. As soon as you go into AutoChef, it goes straight to our favourites. As you can see, we've got some baguettes and some potatoes, chips, fish fingers, cookies, etc. on there. We can just select fish fingers on there and it's already loading the program. And then once the program's loaded, we press start and that will preheat. Okay, so we're now going to load up the fish fingers onto the trays. I'm going to hand over to Stuart to talk a bit more about FlexiRack and
Cool.
The comparison.
Okay, if I can ask you, Mike, to start, we'll count out the fish fingers. So it's back to the MKN FlexiRack. What is it and what are the benefits? This is your standard 1-1 Gastronorm size. It's a perforated non-stick baking sheet. So it's ideal for things like this breaded products. Traditionally, that would go into an oven. Majority of the time will be lengthwise insertion. So firstly, the MKN FlexiCombi is a crosswise insertion. Because we load crosswise, the oven chamber is much larger. So this time, so what we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we've got 40 fish fingers on the FlexiRack. And then we'll do the same on the 1-1. Meanwhile, the oven's preheated. The oven's just telling us it's ready. So it's called ready to cook. So what that means is it's ready when we're ready for it. So it's an ideal situation where we've got the oven preheated and now we're loading our trays and then we'll go in. So this time we've got 2, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So again, the increased capacity, we can cook more product at once, and particularly in a school situation where we've got a very small period of time where we can get the food ready onto the counter, we can cook more products. But also, that can mean a lot in terms of capital expenditure. So as you can see now, we're cooking more. So the question is, well, normally you'd probably go for 10 quid automatically, or do we go for a 6 quid with increased capacity? It's still saying we're ready, so we can load it. The normal 1-1 will load crosswise, the FlexiRack. And the action of closing the door starts the program automatically. Fish fingers are finished, Mike. So again,
Looking good, nice and even.
here's our 1-1. Again, nice and easy to unload.
25 on there.
And here's our FlexiRack. And again, completely even all across. Nice and easy to slip off into our servery dishes. So the results speak for themselves again. FlexiRack, 60% increased capacity.
So we're going to do some cookies now. We've got some frozen cookie pucks, they're chocolate chip cookies. As you can see, we're doing 1-1 Gastronorm versus FlexiRack. And we've got 8 on here, 12 on here. So we've got a 50% increase in cooking capacity going from Gastronorm to FlexiRack.
So nice and simple with the MKN FlexiCombi Magic Pilot, very easy to use. Enables all the processes or programs to be saved, and then if the brand changes or the product changes, it's a very simple process to overwrite and then resave. So this time we go to our favourite screen, we have our cookies, and we press start. The oven is going to preheat, it's already preheated, so we're going to, nice and simple, we're going to load it again. We're going crosswise with our 1-1 Gastronorm and with our FlexiRack. Nice and simple, nice and easy to handle, and again, because we've used a preset process, the action of closing the door automatically starts the oven. Okay, our cookies are finished. Open the door, FlexiRack out, perfectly cooked, evenly cooked cookies, and here's our 1-1. So, in our 6 grid, so a 6 grid FlexiCombi, we can, as you can see, we can cook 12 cookies per level. If it was a 1-1 configuration combi, we're only talking about 8 cookies per level. And of course this really does add up to energy. So as you can see, we've measured what the costs are to cook that particular load. So here we've used 0.55 of a kilowatt, and that would be to cook 70 odd cookies at once.
And that's reduced the cooking time as well, hasn't it, Stuart? I think on the box it said 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah,
we were
14 minutes, 15 minutes, yeah.
To cook more per shelf than a standard oven.
Yeah. So it really is saving resources, saving energy, saving the planet.
Okay, so we're back on the FlexiRack versus Gastronorm. Really important when it comes to volume, because as you can see, we've got 7 baguettes on the 1-1 and we've got 14 baguettes on the FlexiRack. So in a single cook in here, we've gone from 42 baguettes in a Gastronorm combi up to 84, so we've doubled the cook, which obviously when you're producing huge amounts of part-baked baguettes, it can take up your combi space for an awful lot of time. So we're doubling the capacity in the cavity just by using the FlexiRack. So Stuart's already started the oven to preheat. That was perfect timing. Happy accident there. So we can open the door, and Stuart.
There we go. Again, crosswise, so nice and safe. And again, in with our FlexiRack. As you can hear, the baguettes are finished. So again, and because we used a process, the steam exhaust system kicked in. So what it meant was we were able to access the oven very quickly, because the oven has self-vented the steam for the last 2 minutes. Again, safely, because it's crosswise. There's our 1-1 Gastronorm, as you can see. There's our FlexiRack. So how much does it cost us to do that? It's told us we've used 1.29 kilowatts of energy, of electricity, and we've used no litres of water, which you might think is strange because we've cooked in combination mode. But what it means is we've actually used less than a litre of water to cook the entire batch of baguettes.
So we're on to the vegan corn dippers here. Stuart's just put a program in the system for us. It's now showing up on the favourite, so he's going to select that and preheat the oven. And again, we are double the capacity on the FlexiRack. We can put a whole bag on here, so that was 2 kilos, Stuart.
Yeah, as I said, corn vegan dippers, so it's 2 kilo bag.
Whole bag on the FlexiRack, half a bag on the Gastronorm, and we've got a box tin here with the bits that were left over from the Gastronorm, so we'll pop that in as well. So
our corn and vegan dippers are ready. Steam exhaust system has just vented out all that steam, so it means we can get in there quite quickly, as you can see. Nice and even on our 1-1. Here's our FlexiRack this time. As you can see, really nice even cooking, golden brown. Because it's corn, we actually used a combination mode. So we're making sure that we're keeping the insides nice and moist. And of course, we've got our box tin as well. What did that cost us? Funny enough, same as the baguettes, 1.46 kilowatts of energy we've used on there. And although, again, we use combination mode, we haven't used even a litre of water. So again, really energy efficient, saving resources, saving the planet.
So finally, we're going to speak about WaveClean. So at the end of the day, cleaning your combi, I'm going to hand over to Stuart now, and he'll talk you through what it does and how it does it.
So the oven will give you an indication when you should clean it. The little cloud sign here will change colour from yellow to red. In the meantime, yeah, you clean the oven when it's dirty. So we're going to go to device functions, we're going to WaveClean, we're going to just do a short clean today. It's not particularly filthy, and we press start. So of course it wants us to be safe. So we're going to place a cartridge in the oven. At the minute it's a little bit warm, so it's going to cool it down. There's lots of ovens that self-clean on the market. Some will ask you to open the door at this point. Do you want to blow hot air all over the kitchen? Because as we know, hot air is all it's going to do is encourage bacteria growth and so on. So at the minute it's nice and safe. So it's putting water into the chamber, as you can see, and it'll cool down.
So I've got a WaveClean cartridge here. I'm just going to wait for Stuart to put his PPE on to handle these chemicals. Oh no, I'm not. We don't need to do that.
Don't need PPE. It's completely safe. It's this is it. One cartridge, one clean, and it's as simple as when the combi tells us to, we will just insert it into the chamber. So we take the lid off. That's a wax seal, so it's completely safe. So as Michael said, we don't need any PPE whatsoever. Yeah. So how often do you clean it? As I said, it's really when it's dirty. So it could be anything from once a day to once every 2 weeks. So it's safe, controllable, on cost, and easy to store. Whether it's a space combi, a 6 grid, or even a 20 grid, it's still one cartridge per clean. The WaveClean system uses around 27, 28 litres of water. So again, we're being very conscious about resources. We're not using tens and tens of gallons of water.
And what happens to the little pot when you finish with it?
The pot will be empty and we simply recycle it. So the oven's talking to us, so it's saying insert cartridge and close door.
So we'll open the door. How do you clean the inside of the glass?
The beauty with the MKN FlexiCombi is you can see it's a complete sealed unit. So it's triple glazed, but it's completely sealed. So what that does is obviously it gives us the energy efficiency of the unit, but also it gives it its strength. All we need to do manually on a sort of daily basis is wipe our door seal. But and then all we do, insert the cartridge, we close the door, we tick to say yes, we've done it, and away it goes. We can now put that on clean and we can just go home. The unit will completely power down and it's completely safe to do on a nightly basis. We've cooked a lot of school food today, guys, but I hope you understand that we've done that because it best shows the FlexiRack system. But as you can imagine, the FlexiCombi, it saves energy. It cooks in larger loads, and it really is applicable for the entire food service sector. And of course, it's MKN, so it's hardware, and it'll last a long time in our environment. So yeah, thanks again, Michael.